Hey!
Yay, new podcast.
Everybody, we did a second podcast.
Woo!
And it's actually on time with the last one.
Which I'm surprised we managed to do.
I know, this was actually totally not planned. We're just kind of like, hey, let's do another podcast, because the last one was pretty fun.
Yeah, I mean, I enjoy talking incessantly for hours on end.
And then, you know, game stuff too. It ended up working out pretty well.
Which I'm surprised there's any of.
Oh,
honestly,
God.
Like, January is usually a very slow month for gaming news. There's never much. Once it hits past November, it's really quiet for pretty much everyone.
We really chose the worst time to start, yeah. Anyway, at least today, thankfully, Nintendo Direct was before the COD.
Nintendo's got it back.
The
CODcast, all right.
The CODcast.
It's a new kind of fish.
Yeah,
No,
you don't wanna
Nintendo's...
eat it.
I don't... Nah, not a fish person, actually. Not really.
I'm not really a fish person either.
Yeah.
It kind of comes with living in a landlocked city.
That's true.
That's somehow flooded.
That's somehow... Let's not go into our floods. No. Everybody knows our city flooded. We're from Calgary. We flooded.
Nobody cares that our city flooded.
We care. There's still some people that still aren't living in their houses.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Yeah. They'll get back. Anyway.
Yeah, Nintendo Direct. It may seem that we do a lot of Nintendo stuff.
It's really only because they're the only people doing anything right now.
Yeah.
Like, Microsoft and Sony, they always have their big multi-platform or exclusive news, but it's all for stuff way down the line. Like Halo, for example, which we will get to later. But it's, 10 months away almost?
Yeah.
From Halo, what's assumed to be Halo 5's release. And sure, they're updating the beta right now, but it's just a beta. Anything could change in 10 months. Plus, it's no information on the story or what's going to be in that $250 limited collector's edition that they have.
Everyone's buying it on hope.
Well, I think part of that is, I mean, it's an established franchise. So when you see that they're putting that much, of value, I guess, onto a product, you assume that it's going to be of high quality. It's not going to be like... So personally, for me, the Skyrim Collector's Edition, which was like $150 at launch, it was just the game with a plastic statue of the dragon. Now, the statue looked good, but the quality of the material itself was not very high. It's not like PVC quality or anything.
It was just like regular plastic.
Yeah, but at least it was sturdy enough not to bust on itself.
I'm talking
about you, Dragon Age Inquisition. Their shit broke so badly at the EB at Chinook.
Really?
Like, they got 6 copies in, not a single one came unbroken.
No way.
There's a bunch of stuff inside. Like, it was supposed to be really cool and have, like, quills and mortar and pestle stuff, and it was supposed to be really authentic looking, and everything was broken. So they opened up all of the copies there for the people that got them and started trading pieces to see if they could make a full set. Yeah.
I'll give you an arm for an eyeball.
I actually took one of the pieces because they showed it to me.
No way.
It was like just a little piece of it that had busted off, but it was really poorly glued and really bad quality.
You know, one of them might actually hear this and then be like, "Oh, that bastard took my leg!"
It wasn't even... It was like, I don't know, 3 inches of a piece of plastic on... I don't even know what it was. I don't know what came in the collector's edition. Anyway, the Halo's one, it's expected to be high quality because it's going to be a $150 statue. Yeah. Essentially, because there's the $100 limited edition, which is just the game and the DLC or whatever goes into it. But I don't know. Titanfall did it, but it worked for them because it was a very, very high quality statue with, I believe, the art book, plus the DLC, plus the game. And it was a very intricate looking statue. I've never seen one up in close, but it looks really good. So I think 343 really has to kind of pull it up to get to that level of quality if they want people to actually drop that money.
You hear that, 343? Up your game.
I've got one ordered just in case I really feel like it.
Just in case.
Well, I mean, I'm going to get the game anyways. I've played through all of them minus, I think, Spartan Assault or whatever that top-down shooter one.
Phone / computer, yeah.
I mean, we've played it, but we haven't finished it yet, so... But past that, I've played every Halo game, so I will play this one. I don't know if that money's worth it. So I'll have that down, because I know the regular version won't run out, and I'm certain the regular limited version won't run out.
No, probably not.
Because, the Halo 3's limited edition with the helmet was, supposed to be a limited run, and there was, 100,000 of them?
Yeah, there's still some
and they never sold out, right? Yeah.
You know, you can go to an EB game sometimes, and they'll still be there.
Yeah. There's still actually like a lot of stores nearby that are selling a lot of those. Like, not like the Halo 3 stuff, but a lot of old collector's editions you just never would have found.
I see a lot of, and it always comes up, a lot of Splinter Cell collector's editions. Everywhere
like from Blacklist?
I go. From Blacklist, from Conviction.
Okay.
Like, they just don't sell well. Even though they're kind of cool, because the Blacklist one came
with the RC Copter,
the RC
right?
Copter.
Yeah.
Well, plane?
Or whatever it was. The like 4-bladed hover jet thing.
Drone?
Yeah, whatever you want to call it.
Is that a drone?
It's Amazon's first prototype.
Oh.
They just gave it to Ubisoft.
Yeah.
Give it to Sam. He'll use it. That's his name, right? Sam Fisher?
Yeah.
Yeah. I haven't played the game, so.
Yeah, no worries.
But, yeah, Nintendo really came through with some actual news to talk about. The Nintendo Direct today was quite a surprise. I knew that, they announced it 2 days ago, so it was kind of a last-minute Direct announcement.
It really came out of nowhere.
I didn't expect it to be more than just a couple of release dates. And ultimately, that's what it was for a lot of things.
Yeah.
But it was also a lot of new announcements, new information for certain titles. They started off with a new Fire Emblem trailer. No actual information.
Nope.
But just, it's a new Fire Emblem for the 3DS, which to me is interesting. They've already got one on the 3DS fairly recently, within the last 2 years, with Fire Emblem Awakening. I don't know if they're going to be working on one for the Wii U. I kind of hope that they will.
Probably not. Fire Emblem's been majority it's portable console.
Only in North America, though. And only since 2000s. Like, 2003, I believe, is when Fire Emblem came here to the States on the Game Boy Advance. But that was the 7th Fire Emblem title. So we missed out on at least 6 of them beforehand, which were, I believe, all NES, Super NES in Japan.
I believe so,
or Famicom, whichever you want to call it. So once it came here, yes, it was handheld, but we still did have 2 console titles with Radiant Dawn and Path of Radiance.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure what they're going to do with a console title for the Wii U. I don't know. It'll probably be another year or two, if that's the case. Yeah. Though, it's good for the 3DS. It's basically the only handheld that people are really interested in at this point.
Yeah.
Which kind of disappoints me. I think the Vita has a lot of good stuff on it. But it's all very, very small titles that you're only going to be interested in if you like the Japanese market. Everything else is
a very niche Japanese market, because Nintendo does have their fist in Japanese games.
Yeah, with Sony's portable stuff, I think that they really dropped the ball on what a North American audience would want. But it's interesting to me that it didn't stop the Japanese side from actually releasing content and bringing it over here, because they knew that those people would still want that product. I've got the limited edition for Senran Kagura's newest fighter, which I'm surprised didn't really sell out. They just had some sitting there, but they're also pretty much gone unless you want to find them on Amazon, and even then I think they're already marked up prices. It's stuff like that they bring them over anyways, and they will sell because they don't make that many.
No.
I guess it's comparable to Atlas.
Oh,
when Atlas releases anything,
it's just gone.
I'm just gonna point up at my Shin Megami Tensei 4's collector on the 3DS.
Or my Catherine Collector's Edition.
That's right.
Which came with the underwear.
That's right.
Which I made the mistake of actually wearing.
You actually wore that?
I wore it. It's comfy.
Oh, well. I wouldn't know. I still have mine in the box.
Well, la-di-da.
I have so many of those bloody things.
Well, you can talk about that all you want. I still have my copy of Ogre Battle 64.
Yeah, see, I was a poor child.
I was too. I got that like 3 years ago.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Back when I got my N64. Well, I got my new N64? when I got a new N64.
Yeah. Interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
I haven't really looked into collecting older stuff yet.
I went on that huge kick of collecting classic games for a while.
I will probably come this summer. Save up a bit and get some old NES stuff.
It's a dangerous market.
Yeah.
It's pricey.
It's only dangerous and pricey if you go to people that are deliberately trying to screw you.
Yeah, it's true. You can generally find some pretty good stuff. Kijiji's always great. Craigslist.
It can be. There have been some really bad Kijiji stints here in Calgary lately.
Like stabbings.
like Kijiji stabbings. So, yeah.
Kijiji rapes.
Let's just not go there. Let's not go to Kijiji for a while.
No, I think... Well, the trick is meet in a public place.
True. That's very true. Anyways. Yeah, with the Nintendo 3DS announcements, that's basically all this was. There was a couple of Wii U things.
But the majority of the focus was actually on the new console. The new 3DS XL.
So, in Japan, they, I believe, have the regular new 3DS and a new 3DS XL. For North America, it seems like they're only using the XL version, and I'm not 100% sure as to why. It seems like they're treating the American market differently, but I know that's not going to be Nintendo of Europe's or Nintendo of Japan's problem. It's not their decision. NOA is way, way, way different.
Oh, yeah.
The only, collaboration they all really have is for big announcements, or the Nintendo Directs themselves, whenever they have Mr. Iwata or Reggie or whoever
that new
in
guy.
the Direct. New guy? What,
yeah.
Bill Trinan?
Yeah.
He's been with Nintendo for, ever.
He's the new guy.
He's part of the marketing and the localization team, and he has been for years.
He's not very enthusiastic for where he works.
It depends on what you're doing.
He wasn't very enthusiastic about this. He was pretty monotone.
He was more enthusiastic than Reggie.
The new Nintendo 3DS.
That was Reggie.
That was Reggie, actually.
Yeah, Reggie was... You could clearly see him, reading from the script.
Yeah.
You could see his eyes, darting back and forth. But Bill wasn't doing that. Bill was more, hands moving and,
a little. It was...
More than Iwata.
No.
Always more than Iwata.
Yeah.
Because Iwata, stands there and does, the direct thing.
But he's a traditional Japanese businessman.
That's true.
He stands firm and he does not move. He looks you dead in your soul.
That's probably why it's called the direct, actually.
Oh.
It has nothing to do with them delivering stuff from them to us. It's everything about the way that he stands and just looks straight into your eyes the entire time.
Because he's looking directly into your soul?
So long as you have one.
Oh.
Sorry, cousin. Didn't mean to throw you under the bus.
Ooh.
He's going to listen to this and be like, you son of a bitch. They announced a new puzzle game. It's new here. I guess it's been in Japan for a while, called Puzzle and Dragons Z. Yeah, we say Z. We're Canadian, sorry.
It's Z, but we call it a zebra.
Yeah, it's weird, isn't it?
And
zebra. Actually, I've heard people say zebra before.
Really?
And I don't know who they are. They're just weird people.
Did they have a stroke?
Possibly.
That's awful.
Anyways.
Oh my god. A Z-dipper?
Zipper.
Z-dipper.
Zipper. It's, I don't know, it's like Bejeweled.
It's Bejeweled.
It's a match game.
Yeah.
But it's a match game mixed with...
A little bit of an RPG?
Marble look that... If Beyblades were marbles, that's kind of the vibe I got from it.
Beyblades were marbles?
Well, you saw that little anime opening where the kid's I don't know, with the little machine thing.
Oh, yeah, I'd say it's
more
and
he's shooting the marbles.
I'd say, and with the dragons and stuff?
Yeah.
I'd say it'd be more like Yu-Gi-Oh! With marbles?
Maybe... I don't know, I get the idea, the shooting thing is like Beyblade.
Yeah.
You know? I don't remember the last time Beyblade was relevant.
I don't know.
I'm sure it is to somebody.
They still have... The show's still going.
Yep, it's all still going.
Yu-Gi-Oh's
still going.
Oh,
they're
God.
out of GX and they're into something else. Actually, I think GX was... It was Yu-Gi-Oh!, then it was GX, and it was Zexal.
Zexal?
Yeah, now it's something else.
Gesundheit.
Yu-Gi-Oh! Gesundheit.
Remember, we're Canadian. It's ZXL.
Actually, it still works, doesn't it? Because it's Zexal. Because Zexal still works.
I guess so.
Anyway.
Okay, Zexal.
This is now Pronunciation Cast.
Welcome to Grammar Guys.
8-bit grammar?
8-bit grammar. Canadian grammar.
Yes. A boot.
I'm wearing a boot.
They did actually start off a little bit strangely. Yes, they started off with a hardcore title like Fire Emblem, but then they immediately went into very younger audience aimed puzzle series.
Yeah. That's
its own thing. Then the Mario version, which is basically the same kind of game, matching and fighting.
It's really odd.
It is odd, but it's not more odd than when Square Enix took over for Super Mario RPG.
That's true.
It was pretty weird then, but it was pretty cool as well.
Yeah.
Granted, that was a much more intricate title. I assume this won't be, but it is packaged with both versions. So it's not like you're paying for each one separately for like $40 a piece.
My worry, though, is that how much content the game's going to be, because it looks like one of your generic Bejeweled clone phone games, which you can get for $1, right?
That is actually kind of the way that I saw that entire puzzle block.
Oh, yeah.
Especially with the Pokemon Shuffle announcement.
Oh, God.
Because it'll be available... So Pokemon Shuffle is going to be available for free next month. If that sounds weird, it's because it really is. It's basically a phone game complete with microtransactions to get your energy back. once you run out of energy.
It is literally Candy Crush, but with Pokemon.
It looks better than Candy Crush, because one, it has actual polish and didn't steal the idea.
Well, it stole the idea from a stolen idea.
But it's a match game. Those have existed for how long? You can't
forever.
You can't steal a match game unless you're changing it somehow.
Yeah.
So they did throw in, I don't know what looked like an RPG-esque element with different characters having different evolutions and levels and tactics somehow. So the content is there from the looks of it, but it's also going to be a free kind of
a freemium game.
Click as you go for 10 seconds game.
Yeah, play it for 10 minutes out of your day, and then if you want to keep playing, spend
$5.
$5.
That's kind of smart if you're on the bus for only 10 or 15 minutes. You don't have time to play a full level through a Fire Emblem or get through a dungeon in Majora's Mask.
It's true.
You can just play Pokemon Shuffle, and it's free, so you're not losing out on anything.
Yeah.
And then next time you're on the bus on the way back from wherever you're going, there you go. You just play it again.
I know I'm going to be giving it a try.
I'll try it out. It's out in a month anyway, so, I mean, why not, right?
Yeah. Thankfully, they did announce that they're getting rid of that weird backwards compatibility issue with the Wii U.
It seems like they're trying to move away from it. I'm sure they'll still use it up until, because there's going to be some games that they never put onto this service. But they appear to be releasing downloadable Wii games, so it'll be backwards compatible without forcing the Wii U into its Wii mode. Which I don't understand.
Me neither.
Why they would do this to... Backwards compatibility just died this generation.
It did. There's none.
This is why PC works so well at times. You can just download anything from any year, and it'll probably
play
work.
DOS game? Let's play DOS game.
Most DOS games. Actually, maybe only some.
There's a website that just came out a couple days ago that has over 200 MS-DOS games.
I did hear about that.
You can play on your web browser. Yep. That's fantastic.
To be fair, I would much rather own an old computer and the actual old floppies or whatever they were for the DOS games.
Yeah.
If I can find a copy of Thunder of God, my life will be complete.
Oh, jeez.
That was the first PC game I ever played.
That's pretty fantastic.
Thunder playing as Thor in that weirdly colorful world, throwing a giant boomerang hammer and just having it twirl against snakes and apples. God, I feel old and I'm only 24.
That you did date yourself quite a bit there.
That's fine. It's totally fine. I mean, that game was out well before I was born.
Fair enough.
At least I think it was. I don't actually know.
I think DOS games were on the downfall when we were in the womb.
I guess the only 3 DOS games I ever really played was God of Thunder and Duke Nukem 1 and 2.
And Doom.
I never played Doom originally.
You never played Doom?
I've played the re-released versions, but I never played it on PC originally.
I played Doom.
So, when I was growing up, I only had, I think 2 or 3 games for any one console that I had, and no PC. And because the computer wasn't mine, it was, family's, they got full reign of it pretty much all the time, and they didn't want me clogging up the system with all their games. Especially since it's not like they were big machines back then.
Don't forget the games give you viruses. You gotta get rid of the games.
It was understandable. I was, 10 or 11 when we got our first computer, but it was still... my mother's work computer. It was still her thing to use. Maybe we had a little before then, but it was theirs to use, so I understood. But I just kept my N64 at the time. That's when I started playing Majora's Mask and Banjo-Kazooie, Banjo-Tooie. So I got really big into collectathons and the whole adventure aspect of the game, outside of just the side-scrollers from Mario.
Back when Rareware ruled our worlds.
Man, that's another... We can get to that later. There's some rare news, potentially.
Rare news as in it's hard to find?
As in rareware news.
Really?
Yeah, outside of Xbox avatars.
So there's pseudo-Microsoft news?
Sorta. I mean, kind of. No one really knows yet.
Crazy. Oh, anyway.
Yeah, the Wii U stuff, I'm sort of excited for the games, but it's all games I either already own or don't need to buy.
Yeah.
Mario Galaxy is available right now, and it's on half price for 1 week before it goes to whatever price they decide. I haven't seen what the prices are, and that's something I noted. They did not reveal the prices during the Direct.
For anything.
They just said, it's available, half price right now, which is, that's good.
Yeah.
But it's interesting to me that they wouldn't tell people what the prices are.
No, it's very concerning, actually.
I'm sure it won't be anywhere near as expensive as a retail copy.
No.
But it'll probably be at least a fair price. I would probably still pay $30 for Galaxy 2, but only because I haven't played Galaxy 1 or 2.
Yeah.
So to me, it's not a big deal if I pay a little extra for a game that I never owned.
No. But for a game you already own, that is a big concern.
If you already own it, don't buy it again.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm of the opinion that if you're going to buy a console, a physical thing, and have a physical disc, just hang on to it. Take care of it and make sure that it's not going to bust on you. And if it does, then try to find a way to fix it or replace pieces.
Don't trade it into GameStop for $5. Yeah. A $60 game for $5.
Yeah, exactly. Or in the case of any of those NHL games, 50 cents.
Yeah.
50 cents to $2, depending on the year of the NHL game.
Dear God. I can imagine an NHL game from like 06, if you tried to trade it in.
they would laugh you out of the store.
No, they would ask for a hand job to take it. You have to pay us. Give us $5 to take this game from you. I'm going to say, please give me something for
Suddenly
it.
This has become physical solicitation.
Maybe if you meet me out back, I can work something out.
Oh my God. They showed off some new stuff for Kirby and the Rainbow Curse.
Speaking of taking someone out back.
I don't even know what that's supposed to mean for
no
Kirby.
There.
That was the worst segue ever.
I know.
It's similar to... I forget the name of the Kirby title on the DS that originally kind of penned this Kirby idea. Oh, it's funny. It's funny because it's an unwanted pun. I forget the name of the title where you would draw the lines for Kirby to follow. I don't remember which game that was. But that was quite
Scribblenauts.
No. It was quite a few years ago, though.
Kirby and Scribblenauts Land.
That would be really strange.
It does remind me a lot of Scribblenauts. Because...
The art style?
Yeah.
At first glance, a little bit, but I mean, Scribblenauts takes more of the Paper Mario route.
Yeah.
Whereas this is actually like a Wallace and Gromit claymation.
Which is pretty cool.
It looks amazing. Like, I wasn't a big fan of the last Kirby look, just because it looked normal to me.
One?
Return to Dreamland.
Oh, okay.
Like, it played fine. It was a Kirby game. It was great.
Yeah.
But it was nothing special. It just looked better because it was with newer visuals on the console. But Woolly World looked so cool because it was a brand new art style.
Woolly World's the Yoshi one.
What was the one with Kirby?
That was...
Epic Yarn.
Epic Yarn,
yeah.
yes.
But it was like the same thing. Like the yarn, the wool.
Yeah.
The new art styles look really interesting.
They do.
And now with claymation added into it, I grew up watching Wallace and Gromit on TV like every time it came on.
Yeah.
That stuff looks awesome. And it looks great in motion, and I'm looking forward to seeing what the game can do. I'm just worried that those kinds of Kirby games don't get as much attention as a regular platformer would. Because, I mean, as much as I love the platformer Kirbys, they don't, from what I've experienced, change a ton based on, like, level design or anything. It's just some new enemies, items, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Because they always use Wispy Woods, or whatever the tree's name is.
Oh, jeez.
It's always Dedede. There's always some weird darkness thing at the end.
It's always Meta Knight.
Yeah, but that's a stable character. Yeah. Like it has been for a long time.
Same with Dedede.
But they always use the same kind of progression. It's always wooded area to whatever other places to Dedede to final boss.
Wooded area to clouded area to bottom of the ocean.
Screw that boss, by the way. Fucking Cloud at the eyeball and the electric and the spikes, God, and I hated him.
That was awful.
I always hated fighting him, mostly because I'm terrible at things. But now I'm excited to see what it's going to do. I'm just not certain if it's going to be like a big retail price game. I don't know if it should be.
It looks pretty subpar for, say, a $60 price tag.
It'll probably be $60, but at the same time, it is a Nintendo first party. At least I think.
It is.
Do they still use HAL? I mean, HAL's in-house anyway.
Yeah.
As far as I'm aware.
I believe they still use HAL.
Yeah, I don't know.
Was HAL responsible for...
HAL Laboratories, I think, did HAL do Kirby? I thought they did.
Oh, God.
For a while. I don't remember.
All right, everyone pay attention to the We Don't Know What We're Talking About podcast.
Yay! They also announced for Kirby that it's going to be getting Amiibo support with the current Kirby Amiibo as well as the upcoming King Dedede and Meta Knight Amiibos.
The Wave 4 Amiibos!
So, we'll get to that in just one sec. The Amiibo functionality for Kirby and the Rainbow Curse is kind of simple. It just gives you power-ups that you would normally have to work your way towards. Use it once a day, make the level easier, make progression quicker. They then did announce the next Smash Bros. Wave for Amiibos with...
Lucina, Robin, Pac-Man, Ness, Charizard, and Wario.
Which I'm not surprised by for some of those characters. The Fire Emblem ones, I'm very surprised because I saw zero... Like, there was no reason to believe they'd release another 2 at once.
Yeah.
Especially since, I mean, they had Marth in the first, Ike in the third. It's one, then they skipped a wave, then another one. I never would have guessed that they would have made such a small wave so focused on one side of characters.
Yeah.
But there was a reason for that, which we'll get to shortly. With those 6, I kind of guessed that they were going to do another small wave. It seems like they're releasing the Smash lineup. Yeah, in very large portions, followed by small and then repeating.
Yeah.
So that means that whatever's left is going to be primarily, I guess, more unknown or unused characters. Like, Palutena's only been in the Kid Icarus games. The 2 Kid Icarus games. Yeah. Maybe 3? I think there's been 3.
I believe there's only been 2.
I thought there was another NES one. Like, there's the Kid Icarus, then whatever the second one would have been, plus Uprising.
Yeah, so 3.
But Dark Pit's only been in maybe the 1. I haven't played Uprising, so I don't know, and I've never finished the other 2, or 1, or whatever they are. So I don't know for certain if Dark Pit was in others, but, I mean, Dark Pit Palutena would be in Wave 5, followed by, like, Rob and Game & Watch, and all of these other characters that people either don't use often, don't see often, or are unlockable.
Yeah.
Which is interesting to me, because I believe Wario is unlockable in one version of the game, but not in the other.
That is true. He's unlockable in the 3DS, but not in the Wii U.
Yeah, because the Wii U only has 8 unlockable.
Oh, not even, like 4?
I think there's 8.
No.
Because it starts with 40 regular plus the Mii Fighters, and then you unlock the 8 for the total 49.
It might be 8, but it did not feel like that, because they were very
It was very
easy
quick.
to unlock.
Yeah. But there's, I believe, 8 there, 12 in Smash Wii, or 3DS, sorry. 12 for the handheld version. So, a lot of people were guessing that it was going to be unlockables last. And I don't know, that seemed too simple. I mean, they have to mix them at least a little bit, and they obviously have, to some extent. With that announcement, which got no release, by the way, there was no release date for those, they're going to be available whenever, so keep your eyes out for pre-orders if you want them, because there's going to be those people that take them all.
They're not going to tell you when the pre-orders go on, you have to guess.
Well, and that's part of the issue with current existing orders, especially with that one guy who I will not name because I dislike him. He's a Twitter user who's received a lot of attention lately for his disdain towards the female cast of the Smash Bros.
Oh.
And like, he had an interview and everything, got taken down because of how much flack the company was getting for interviewing this guy. Now, there is no proof so far that he actually has any of these orders. But currently he's claimed that he has 100 orders just for Rosalina.
What?
He's trying to take them all away and scalp them off to people.
Yeah.
And he's consistently claiming that the only people that play as these characters or enjoy the characters are creepy otaku weeaboos. He's basically the world's greatest internet troll, because he has everyone believing that this is all true. But he's provided no proof. All he says is he got his friends and family to help him with the orders. So what, you got at least 30 people to help you buy up one thing, and they are all okay with you screwing everyone?
It sounds sketchy, but it also sounds like a family of bastards.
I don't know. I don't trust that he's telling the truth. I think he's just getting a rise out of people.
Absolutely.
Which, because from what I understand, his Twitter account is relatively new. It seems like it was started solely to mess with people. At the same time, if it is true, he's an utter douchebag, and that's his thing. 100 doesn't seem like a lot until you realize that the North American versions are all very difficult to find and retailer exclusive. Rosalina is only available for Target, which in Canada sucks because there's no online store to pre-order for.
Nope, you have to go in store where
there's no release date. So.
And they also don't have any employees.
Well, they do have employees, but they're all the old Zellers employees, which nobody was a fan of to begin with.
No. That's
part of the reason why nobody liked the stores, because they were very, at least around here, not particularly helpful.
No, not helpful. Very dirty. Not very well kept.
That was I think that was the maintenance. I can't blame that on, like, the employees during the day.
No.
But it was a very low-end store, it seemed. I don't want to shit all over the store, because, I mean, it was an alright store to check out for electronics every now and then. Even if prices sucked, sometimes you'd find something kind of cool.
You would find some limited editions that have been sold out for years. That's where I got my Fable 2 one.
That's how I got my copy of The Last Story from Walmart, actually.
Yeah.
It was like $40, brand new collector's version, which no one could have found anywhere. And I'm like, alright, it's mine now.
For a game no one's even heard of.
Well, now I have all of the Operation Rainfall games.
Nice.
Which is like impossible to do unless you were like on top of it the whole time.
Yeah.
So the Amiibos hopefully will be released, I don't know, in due course. Wave 3 should be coming in February. We don't know when. They did not provide a release date.
They said February.
But we already knew it was going to be probably February. Like, a couple of places were saying January 30th. Toys R Us for Canada says February 6th, based on Lucario. I'm still hoping it's early February, which they probably have to do, considering the new 3DS announcement.
Oh, yes.
Right? If it's going to have Amiibo functionality, they've got to have new Amiibos, especially with Toon Link, in that batch, coming in February, before the system comes out. So I'm hoping that's the case. But they also have they have the new Amiibo line for Super Mario, which is what everyone thinks it is. It's just Mario characters, 5 of which are already existing Amiibo. But they're like they're the original versions that we saw, like with the red base and everything.
They are really cool.
But the 6th one, so it's what, Mario, Peach, Luigi, Bowser, Yoshi. And the 6th one, which everyone was hoping for and no one thought they would do, is Toad.
Toad!
It's a Toad Amiibo, and it looks cool.
It does.
It's a tiny little derpy mushroom man.
So happy for Toad.
Obviously, gonna integrate that with Toad Treasure Tracker.
Absolutely.
Though they didn't really explain what it was gonna do. They showed off that little 8-bit Toad that would appear in the levels.
Yeah.
Obviously, like, you're supposed to find him, but they didn't say what it would do.
He just shows up.
But that means that it's probably in every level. So it's going to be another part of the completion, which means it's probably going to unlock some weird
another thing
collectible.
After.
You know what?
In a game about collecting, another collectible.
I'm fine with that.
God damn it.
I'm fine with that, so long as it actually does something interesting. If it's not just find it and then complete the level again.
Yeah.
Maybe it does something cool. I don't know.
Hopefully,
it's interesting to see 8-bit Toad.
Hopefully it's not a case of just a ploy. Hopefully it's not just, oh, I found the Toad, that's a cool little Easter egg.
Yeah.
But it's not an Easter egg.
It's not an Easter egg when they tell you that it's there.
Yeah.
It's not really exciting then.
Yeah.
Interestingly enough, those Amiibos will be used with Mario Party 10 for the, what was it called? Like the Amiibo Party?
Amiibo Party.
Amiibo Party.
Amiibo.
So, like, picture the Amiibos. What was that mode in Wii U with the board and everything?
So that's Smash Tour.
Yeah, Smash Tour.
So it's very similar to Smash Tour Amiibo Party. Essentially what it is it's another board game like every Mario Party is, but it's much more traditional in the sense that it's more like a board game. You have a square or circular board. The board depends on which Amiibo you scan.
Yeah.
So the Mario one will be drastically different from, say, the Samus one or the Toad one.
Well, I mean, it won't be Samus.
Not Samus, but Donkey Kong.
Is it Samus or Samus? I always say Samus.
Seamus.
Suddenly Scottish.
So it's going to be very traditional board game-like.
Yeah.
Where a really cool feature that I actually like is if you roll the dice into the board pieces, they'll fall over.
Yeah, it's really cool. Like a little physics engine just for each one.
Which is really nice.
Yeah. It looks all right. I like the addition of something new to Mario Party. I mean, Mario Party 8 was the one that kind of... Was 8 the good one or 9 the good one? Because I think 9 was the one no one liked.
I believe 8 was the good one and 9's the one no one liked.
Because that was the one where everyone had to move at once.
My favorite's 3.
My favorite's 2, I think? 2 or 4?
I like 3.
I don't remember.
3 for the N64.
Old ones.
I have scars on my hand from those, like, you have to rub the controller around.
That was the worst.
Oh, God.
Man. Mario Party is just breaking controllers since always.
Breaking controllers, ruining friendships.
You know what? Not even so much friendships, just like losing bets and drinking games.
Drinking Mario Party is fun. Until you lose your inhibition.
Until you completely lose everything.
Yeah.
No, I'm interested to see what it's going to do. I don't know how exciting it will be. I mean, Smash Tour I was excited to try and then realized, hey, it's the same 3 boards. And I always win. And it's not fun anymore because it's annoying the entire time you play. Because you always, like, go back and forth. You're losing stuff.
It's fun to play with other people. Like, when you have friends.
But... Yeah. When you have friends. Yeah, I don't have many friends.
I know.
I mean, I have a few.
That's why you collect Amiibos.
Exactly. I have so many tiny friends.
Tiny?
I have all 18 currently.
They're way cheaper than normal friends.
I didn't know you had to pay for friends.
Well, in time and effort.
Well, I mean, that's easy enough.
Sometimes you actually have to pay for them.
From there, I guess there's some more Splatoon information.
Yeah.
You didn't know about this game.
I didn't. This blew my mind. This game looks incredible.
So what about it looks like most interesting?
So the fact that it looks like Jet Set Radio. Like the colors and how beautiful it is, it reminds me so much of Jet Set Radio.
Just how artsy it's supposed to be.
Absolutely.
I loved it.
I love the idea of playing as a squid. A human.
Squid human thing.
A scumin.
Octo-human.
Octo-human,
Oh, God.
Octo
They're bringing
Dad.
Octomom to our video games.
Octo Mom and Dad meet. The game.
That's true. There is an Octo Dad now.
Yeah. Dadliest catch.
I still have to play those.
They're good. It's really
Actually,
good.
I don't think I own them.
You should get them.
I will at some point.
They're fun.
I mean, it's not like I have another 450 games on Steam to play, though.
No.
Which I actually do. Last that I talked to, I had 420-something. Now I'm up to almost 450.
No way.
Just from, like, all the indie bundles that I hadn't claimed, or the new ones. Yeah. I bought the...
I still haven't claimed all my Humble bundles. I bought 600 plus
I know I bought the small bundle with Five Nights at Freddy's 2.
Nice.
I still haven't installed them or played them because I am a little bitch.
You are a little bitch.
So...
That shit's scary, though.
I mean, it's not now only because I've watched Markiplier play through each game to death. And Gerard, the completionist, he's played them as well. So I've kind of seen everything they have to offer.
Fair enough.
At least for now, once the third one comes out.
Dun, dun, dun.
I really don't know what they're going to do with it.
Five Nights at Freddy's. 3 Eddies.
Get out.
Oh, I'm sorry.
You and your goddamn puns. You know, there was actually people that told me they heard your puns and were, like, hooked at that point.
Seriously?
They heard the puns and they were just like,
yes.
Great. And I'm like, no, don't, no.
I love my puns. This guy right here has been stopping me from doing them.
I've been stopping you from nothing.
You have been threatening me with violence.
Well, that's just not true.
Yes, it is.
That didn't sound very convincing.
You're threatening me with violence right now.
I'm threatening you with nothing.
You're threatening me with everything.
They also announced some new DLC content for Hyrule Warriors to commemorate the Majora's Mask 3D finally being released. Finally. Also next month, on February 13th, everyone just hand Nintendo your direct deposit information. They'll just, like, take the money from you.
Take Nintendo out for Valentine's Day. You know, you owe it to them.
That is their Valentine's Day. They're pushing it a day forward.
Oh.
Yeah, if everyone who has a significant other, really, really budget out what you're going to pay for this year. Because if you give Nintendo your money on the 13th, chances are your Valentine's Day is going to be an in-house cooked meal from, like, the freezer.
Just take a freezer pizza and some, grocery store garlic bread.
Pretty much.
Yeah. Just a word of advice, people. Focus on your significant other first. Don't let games be the downfall of your relationship.
Games have actually improved mine.
Yeah, they can be a good way to improve it.
I mean, I don't know. It's made... That was... What?
So, I made a very noob mistake and forgot to turn my phone on silent.
You son of a bitch.
I'm sorry.
How dare you?
I'm sorry. Silent.
Mark this moment in history as the moment we all laughed at Rob.
Isn't it good if people laugh at me?
It's laughing with is better than laughing at.
That's true. Ha ha.
You just have to laugh at it. But yeah, there's a Majora's Mask pack for Hyrule Warriors. You can play as young Link with the Fierce Deity's mask. And you can also play as Tingle.
Oh, jeez.
Which at first I'm like, you know what? That's pretty weird. And then I saw him, like, actually playing, and he got, like, so super, like, I don't know, Spanish guy suave. And I'm like, I approve of this. This is a cool Tingle.
Tingle.
It was a very interesting Tingle. Plus, it's got the new adventure mode.
It looks really
It's got, like,
cool.
the whole new map. I don't know if it's going to be based on Majora's Mask. Like, if it'll actually use the moon weapon more.
That'd be interesting.
It's got new costumes as well. Skull Kid costume included. I don't know what the other two are.
I'm personally a big fan of the new Kid Link for it, with the Fierce Deity mask.
Yeah.
What it is it's a time-based boost. So
yeah, it seems...
For a couple minutes, you become the Fierce Deity Link, and you just wreck everything.
I should say I bought the game when it came out day one, and I still haven't played it.
Neither have I.
It's still in its packaging.
Really?
Yeah. Dude, I've got Tales of Xillia 1 and 2, Collector's Edition, in their packages because I haven't opened them yet.
Damn.
I have so much shit to play. I
you
just
gotta
never
get
around.
on this.
I'll get to it at some point. I still haven't finished Tales of the Abyss.
Really?
On PS2.
Wow.
Yeah, how many years old is that?
Yeah.
Old enough.
Your backlog is full.
Yeah, not too, well, again, with the Steam games and...
Speaking of games you own that we've never played...
Yeah, Xenoblade Chronicles is getting its sequel, X, at some point in the year. We don't know when.
They said 2015, so I'm going to assume December 31st, 2015.
Yeah, it'll be closer to the end of the year. Maybe summer.
Maybe.
I mean, it looks pretty good.
Yeah, this summer is starting to shape up.
All of Nintendo is just like... Nintendo stuff is the it thing this year.
It's really interesting.
Which
they
is
just took
funny.
it by storm.
Which is funny, because last week I remember like we had at least a couple of negative things to say about their distribution, which is still the case, especially with the new 3DS Majora's Mask version, like the actual bundle with the console that's already sold out online.
Which we may be going out to get in a matter of...
May.
We are going to be
I'm going to
get
go out and get it as soon as we are done.
Immediately after the podcast.
So, yeah, the Xenoblade Chronicles X will be coming out at some point this year. I have the original and just have not played it. I need to. I mean, I've got a bunch of Wii games that I just haven't gotten through, and they're all big RPGs. I've got The Last Story. I've got Pandora's Tower. They're all just sitting there waiting.
Each one 80 hours of gameplay plus.
Probably.
And you're never going to get to.
Never going to finish it.
Nope.
And with Monster Hunter 4 coming out.
Looks so good.
Which I've never played any of those, so I need to try that.
I bought Monster Hunter 3 a couple months ago.
Right.
And 3 Ultimate, and I'm a big fan.
Wii U version, right?
Wii U and 3DS.
Oh, you got both.
Yeah, both.
Cool. Because that was the only way you could play cross-platform.
Yeah. So I got both, and I'm hooked. I'm really excited for Monster Hunter 4, especially since they're getting rid of the swimming battles, which is a big issue. Yeah.
Was it a problem? Because they look pretty cool in the trailers.
It looked cool in the trailer, but it was a nightmare on the 3DS. And
oh, okay.
It was impossible to fight. I mean, some people found ways to work it out, but it wasn't fun. You know, it gets to a point where challenging stops being fun, and it would be even fighting small enemies was just a task underwater.
How many areas were underwater? It can't be that many.
Oh, I don't know. I haven't beaten it yet.
Is there really a way to beat that, though?
Nope.
It's just get all of the monsters in your little log and finish as many quests as possible, right?
Yeah.
But that goes on forever, because there's always a little quests, and
it does.
You can redo the old ones and do better, and craft new stuff.
I wouldn't even say I'm close to beating it. Yeah. Like, I haven't even seen half the monsters yet. Mm-hmm. But it's fun, and I'm excited for Monster Hunter 4, which will be on the regular 3DS and
new 3DS. Though they, as far as new 3DS stuff does go, they'll have a exclusive version of Xenoblade Chronicles in 3D with the new 3DS consoles only.
Which worries me.
I mean, I'm glad that it's actually getting support right off the bat. I'm happy to see that they're not just making it another console. Because to me, that's what the DSi was. It's just a console with the camera, and I didn't use the camera because the cameras were bad.
Yeah.
They were not good.
Or you could just whip out your phone and the time it took for it to even load the camera.
Yeah, that's true.
Right? It took forever.
It's nice to see that they're actually supporting the technology that they're putting into the console. That was my issue with a lot of 3DS games originally, because, yeah, some of them used it, but some were really bad, some didn't care, some were just completely unnecessary. But with the new 3DS, it seems like certain games will have a bit of an edge. Majora's Mask, you'll be able to use full camera control, which, holy shit, I don't remember an old Zelda game where you actually had proper full camera control. At least not that didn't immediately lock to something else.
Yeah.
Or get stuck on a wall somewhere.
Oh, God.
But the one particular scene they used was that weird library segment with all of the Skulltulas and the Stalfos sitting in their chairs at their desks or whatever. And the camera movement around the corner was totally smooth. There was, no real jagged edges. No crazy clipping through objects.
It was pretty smooth.
It was very, very nice to see. And for rooms like that, and a lot of rooms like that are in Majora's Mask. There's a lot of small spaces, especially in Clocktown.
Oh.
I'm very glad they're doing that. It's not so much for the dungeons. The dungeons are way more open for the most part.
They're huge.
I still like the Stone Tower the best. I don't know why.
Stone Tower is fun.
It's just weird. Except for those fucking figures you create of yourself.
Oh,
those things creep me out.
They're such a nightmare.
Well, because it's basically creating the proper dead form of the person you're possessing. It's
This is what you like blah blah. Look like dead.
You're on a roll today.
Oh, I know, it's too early.
Too early. It's like 11:30 or 12.
Yeah, it's 11:30.
No, Majora's Mask actually, like, solidified my love for the Zelda franchise.
It was my favorite as well.
I played A Link to the Past first. At a friend's place, I stayed up until like 3 a.m. His mom came downstairs and was like, "What the hell are you doing? Go to bed."
You must have been so confused. A Link to the Past of what?
Well, because at that point...
What am I linking to?
That was the first Zelda game I played. I never played any of the others, and I missed Ocarina of Time and went straight to Majora's Mask. My dad actually, as much as he was not around, he did buy me the collector's version of Majora's Mask, and I still have it sitting in box with the manual and everything. It's not in the best condition because I was a kid and whatever, but...
Yeah. At least you didn't, like, write your name on it.
Yeah, exactly.
Put
that
stickers
stuff.
on it.
Oh, God.
By the way, I have a copy of Pokemon Stadium from a Jason Domhe. I know because you writ on it in permanent marker and I can't get rid of it. If you ever want your console back, just shoot
Console?
Not console. Game back. Shoot me a tweet and I'll sell it back to you for $500.
Personalized.
One of a kind.
Factory defect. Without box, still rare. Out of distribution.
Yeah. Factory defect. No amiibo, just NFC tag.
Just NFC tag. No, I got my start in Zelda with Link to the Past, but moved to Majora's Mask from there. So I missed all the Ocarina of Time hype that was around it then, and I immediately went from this kind of pleasant 2D animated colorful world to Majora's Mask, which was dark and depressing and creepy, and I immediately loved it. I was this weird-ass 10-year-old kid that fell in love with this creepy, dark stuff.
Yeah.
Like,
I think that's all what got us hooked. It was the first not-so-cartoony game we really got out of Nintendo.
Well, and all of the games I had played up to that point, like, the darkest game I played was Super Star Wars on the Super NES.
Oh, man.
That game was tough. It's still tough. I still don't know many people that can actually play through most of it.
No, that was a hard game.
I forget how far I got into it. Still didn't beat it.
No.
But that was the darkest game, and even then it's still, like, Star Wars, you know what it is.
Yeah.
Everything else was Mario and, like, Super Mario World, Mario Paint, the Banjo games.
It was all garnered to kids.
And Mischief Makers. I was one of those weird kids that actually knew what Mischief Makers was when it came out.
So you're one of the 10 people that bought it.
I'm basically Japanese, but not.
I think I'm turning Japanese.
I was born with, like, just that Japanese gene, but without actually having any relation to a Japanese individual.
You know what I heard a couple days ago?
What's that?
There's a woman on YouTube. She's hardcore weeaboo.
That's a good start.
I know, right? And she just posted a bunch of videos claiming that because she's Japanese, she has Japanese superpowers that only the Japanese know about.
To be fair, their reflexes are crazy.
Yeah, but I wouldn't call them a superpower.
Have you seen them play? There is a guy that can play the Tetris Grandmaster arcade games, like, perfectly. This guy, maybe he's Chinese. I forget. They talked about him during AGDQ.
I would say that's more of a dedication thing rather than a race thing.
To be fair, that has always existed. Remember when The Lost Levels was finally released here?
Yeah.
And we found out, we couldn't give the Americans the real Mario Bros. 2 because it's too hard for you. Like, clearly that exists in some fashion if the company themselves knew that a particular audience wasn't going to take it. You know? Like,
I just think they knew it wouldn't sell to the bulk market. I think we're really talking about...
But how would it sell to their market?
I think we're really talking about specific people here.
I don't know. It's weird to me that they would, like, distinctly single out a full Western market just because they knew that their customers would be fine with it. To me, that's very interesting.
I think that happens quite a bit.
What about Mega Man? Mega Man was dumbed down to hell when it came here.
That's true. Airman used to be hard.
Honestly, I never had an issue with Airman, but that's, again, I never played. I never played the Japanese version, so I don't know.
In the Japanese copy, Airman's probably the toughest of all the bosses. Whereas in North America, that's the one you go for first. Mm-hmm. Because he's so easy.
They never actually performed a run of Mega Man 2 this year.
At AGDQ.
They did 157 and X. And then I think they did X3 as well.
Damn.
With one other. I forget how many they did. It was a big Mega Man block. The Mega Man 1 race was awesome, but they didn't do 2. So I was like, I don't care as much. 3 would have been cool, but with Proto Man, whatever.
They still did good. They raised
officially over 1.5 million.
Good job, guys. That's impressive.
It was so last year was just over 1 million, and by the end of this year, it was 1.15 with Twitch's and the Humble Bundles donations thrown in. And then they said at the end, so yeah, it's 1.5 million, but our donation tracker went down for a couple hours, so we missed like $350,000.
Holy shit!
So yeah, it officially went up past 1.5 mil.
Nice.
It was a 50% increase in donations from last year.
Yeah,
which is just unheard of. That's an insane growth.
That's incredible,
especially considering the, I don't want to say lackluster, but the less impressive tech that actually went on behind the scenes. It went down quite a bit more often. There was a lot more sound issues, setup issues. Maybe it was just the games. There was a lot of controllers that just didn't work. It was kind of shitty for a while.
You think they test the controllers?
Well, they do, but whenever they use like different machines or it's different places, travel could bump something out of place. Who knows?
Makes sense. And what charity were they raising for?
That was the Prevent Cancer Foundation.
The Prevent Cancer.
And it's all about prevention as opposed to healing after the fact.
Yeah.
So
don't smoke rather than, okay, now you smoked, we need to replace your lung.
Yeah, so it's all about early detection and making sure that people are treated properly if it's detected in like stage 1 or 2.
That's good. That's fantastic.
It was 1.5 million's crazy, especially for a week.
Yeah.
Then again, it was like
video games.
Yeah, there was a lot of people taking part though. I don't know how many people they ended up having donated. I donated a little bit this year.
Chip in a couple bucks here or there.
Yeah, pretty much.
Like I did the Humble Bundle AGDQ.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I do every Humble Bundle.
I was gonna do it, but I already owned a lot of those games, and what really, really bugs me about Humble Bundle right now is that they changed that that auto renew after the fact.
Yeah.
So auto renew for the games it existed during that bundle, so you could only buy it and renew it for yourself.
Yeah.
After that happened is when they changed it, and now it's back to renew by manual input.
Yeah. So you have
that really bothers me because I would have bought it and I would have supported it, but there's no point to purchasing and supporting something when you're supposed to receive something you already own.
Yeah.
I mean, I would have dropped for the 30, but I've got other things to buy. I would have loved to get that t-shirt.
Same. It would have been awesome.
Although I did purchase the t-shirts from the Yeti.
Good.
I think it was just 2 Zelda shirts, I forget.
From the Yeti.
I don't even remember what I bought.
Weird.
I just bought shirts.
We got shirts from Yeti and from Shark Robot.
Actually, I've got a few.
Yeah, I know.
I've got quite a few.
Not sponsored.
Although I wouldn't mind it.
Yeah.
Seriously, like all of the Zelda shirts I bought through Yeti, Shark Robot, or whatever else is out there.
They're really cool. Really good.
So many at this point.
I'm also a big fan of QWERTY.
I don't know that one.
They're the ones that do every day they put up a new shirt, and because they only do one shirt a day, it's
very, very cheap and
pretty cheap.
That's what Yeti does as well.
Yeah, QWERTY is basically the UK version of it now.
Oh, okay.
And
all right.
They do really cool. And when they ship the shirt, I always get a little bag of Haribo candies.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
All right. They always get like little Yeti stickers.
Oh,
actually, I think I have one of them around here somewhere. I don't know where he went. Anyway,
it's a good idea. I like it.
Next up on Wii U, they talked about the next Mario vs. Donkey Kong title, which will be cross-platform, and no matter which version you buy, you will get both games.
Yeah,
you'll get
go
both
out
versions.
buy the cheap 3DS version and get the Wii U version.
Yeah, well, they'll probably be the same.
They'll be the same price.
Well, because I think they're eShop only.
Probably.
As far as I'm aware. I mean, most of them have been, though.
Yeah.
I think there was one title that was a physical copy, but I think they've all been downloadable for the most part for quite a while. Which is fine. I'm happy with it.
It's an interesting take on the Mario vs. Donkey Kong. It's not a traditional platformer. It's the you build the platformer.
Yeah. Or like work around what they've built for you.
Yeah.
It's puzzle.
Very
primarily puzzle.
You know?
Yeah. I don't know. I've never actually played them myself.
Okay.
I've got enough puzzle games that I'm bad at.
Oh, yeah.
So
I'm working on the Professor Layton series right here.
I think I finished the second one recently.
I can't even finish the first. I
really?
Suck.
They're not easy.
I'm so dumb.
I think I'm missing one of the games. I need to go and get it. I don't think it's available very easily.
No, they're hard to get. They're very hard.
You know what I need to find is the first Phoenix Wright.
Good luck.
Well, I can find the trilogy. I can go buy the trilogy on the 3DS.
Yeah, it's real easy. You can also get the trilogy on your phone.
But I also have the second and third game. I just don't have the first.
It'd be cool to get a physical copy of the first.
I'll get it eventually.
Someday.
At some point. They also announced a new Namco Bandai, or Bandai Namco, whichever it is.
Namco Bandai.
Same thing.
No, Bandai.
Same thing. It's the same companies.
Damkoi.
That.
Namcobando.
It's that. They announced this new game called Project Treasure, tentative title from the guy that's worked on Tekken and was part of the Soul team for Soul Calibur.
Yes.
So, don't know what it's going to be. It's free to play.
4-player co-op.
Gotta be online somehow, I'm certain.
Probably going to be microtransactions.
Maybe.
I'm going to assume.
It's hard to say. They're doing the same thing with that new David Jaffe title.
Yeah, that's right.
He's releasing that drawn one where everything is super grotesque, but whatever is drawn by this kid's imagination comes to life.
Yeah.
That's, I think, free to play, as well as the next Suda 51 title, which I think is coming out sometime this year.
I really hope free to play is not the future of gaming.
So long as it's done in the right way. If it's not just microtransactions to win the game, it's not so bad.
Yeah.
But if you've got a title that you can play through properly without forcing microtransactions, as soon as you have energy, unless you can increase the amount of energy that you're able to hold, it's immediately a frustration.
Yeah.
That's why Pokemon Shuffle is so concerning, because it's you get 5 energy, 5 hearts.
That's 5 turns.
Yeah, it's right? five battles.
Once again, Candy Crush.
But each one seemed to have a countdown timer of 11 minutes.
Yeah.
Which seems short in the long run compared to some other things.
24 hours per energy.
What was that Star Trek one that came out?
Oh, God.
That everyone hated because it was microtransactions out the wazoo.
Or the Dungeon Keeper that came out for the phone. Everyone was super excited for it, and then EA just wrecked it.
Yeah.
24 hours to build this minion. It was awful. One thing to say about Project Treasure, though, that was the worst, most revealing I've ever seen.
That's true.
It's a game. It has gameplay mechanics.
Yeah.
It has graphics. Oh,
pretty much.
Oh.
But, they had the guy there. They had Harada.
I can't tell you much about it, but it can play games.
I'm just excited that it's Harada as a big part of that.
I'm sure it'll be cool.
Game.
Just next time, give us something, not just graphics and gameplay.
Yeah. Teasers are always difficult to gauge.
That wasn't just a teaser, though. That was a little too far.
That was a teaser of a teaser?
That was a teaser of a teaser.
Those were the best.
That was... those people who go on Twitter and get ready for my new project, but I can't talk about it. I hate those, and that's exactly what that was.
Pretty much. I don't know. It got me looking at it, at least. I'll pay attention to when it pops up.
I'll give it a try. It's free to play.
Yeah. And it's Wii U.
Yeah.
Free to play Wii U games.
A lot of free to play for Wii U.
You know what, though? I think it's healthy that Nintendo is actually trying out stuff that they were so adamant against.
Yeah.
In the last 6 months. They were so against all of this stuff.
Absolutely.
Not to mention this year they're supposed to release a mobile app. That's the thing that's going to happen at some point.
I hope so.
We don't know when or what it'll be.
It'll just be a link to the Nintendo website. Download the Nintendo app.
Nintendo link.
Go to the Nintendo website for free.
Yeah.
Don't forget, though.
There's some Harvest Moon stuff, although it's not Harvest Moon, now it's Story of Seasons or something like that.
I don't know why they changed the name.
There was some reason, I forget.
Yeah,
but yeah,
I miss Harvest Moon. It's a cool name.
There's that, there's new Fossil Fighters, a bunch of other indie stuff,
Yay,
including
Fossil Fighters.
Including some game where this kid has to cure his immortality, which just sounds sad. That's just going to be a sad game.
How do you cure your immortality?
How do you
cure your immortality?
I don't know.
Kill yourself.
I don't know how it's going to work.
You need to first not be immortal. It's a game about killing yourself.
That's what the assumption is. We'll see what actually comes from it.
Note on Fossil Fighters, though.
Yes.
Why are they making a sequel to this? This is a Walmart bargain bin DS game that I bet it sold only 1,000 some odd copies.
I don't know.
And it's basically Pokemon with dinosaurs.
Digimon.
It's not Digimon. Digimon, they had mechs and robots, and they had other things other than dinosaurs.
I'm gonna keep saying it's Digimon.
Digimon all you want.
I will.
It's not Digimon.
I see it as being closer to Digimon because they at least had dinosaurs. Pokemon doesn't have quite as many as Digimon does.
Yeah, but Pokemon still had dinosaurs.
Yeah,
they had literal fossils.
That's true.
That turned into literal dinosaurs.
Hail Helix.
Hail Helix fossil.
Not fossil, just Helix. Yeah, I went there. I'm sorry. That look that you gave me was just lovely. You don't even know what to do now, do you?
I would love for all the people who are listening to this to watch my look. It's very menacing.
I don't think they can watch audio.
No, they can't.
They can't see our waves.
Oh, our audio waves.
Crashing waves. Man, that went off track.
Yeah.
Finally, there was Codename Steam. They released some more information about that, which you also didn't know about.
I didn't know about that either. I've been in a hole somewhere.
Your reaction as soon as they said Abraham Lincoln, I could see your face just go like from disinterest to wait a minute, what?
What is this?
It's so basic rundown of the idea is steampunk Abraham Lincoln gets together a bunch of historical figures and fighters to combat aliens.
It's awesome.
It's such a cool idea.
I'm blown away. That's the best idea ever.
It's made by the guys that did Fire Emblem, and they are implementing Amiibos with it. Should you use the new 3DS version, or 3DS console for the game, you tap your Amiibos into it, you can get Ike, Marth, Lucina, and Robin as playable characters in-game. And you could use them per battle, so it's not like restricted to per day as far as I'm aware.
Yeah.
Still pretty sweet.
It's cool, and it's awesome, and steampunk Abraham Lincoln.
Yep.
Come on, like what?
Just as soon as that
more
comes.
do we want?
Past that, Ironfall Invasion, some weird shooter thing made by 3 dudes.
Yeah, which is good on them for being able to make it with just 3 people.
And touting it at 60 FPS, which will be... There are some PC shooters that are like established developers that can't get 60 FPS on low-end PCs. If these guys can get it on a 3DS console, that's impressive.
Maybe FPS to them means something else.
I wouldn't even.
Feet per second is how fast you move.
Possibly. That's pretty quick.
Yeah.
60 feet per second for like a runner?
That would be pretty quick,
You would probably be dead.
Yeah, it'd be Sonic.
Sonic's faster than that.
I hope so.
Original Sonic Boom, like the cartoon, like the song, I guess, from Sonic CD. Sorry, Sonic CD in North America. They had a different one for Japan, I believe.
Once again, it's completely different.
Yeah, that's fine. I mean, that was a lot of Nintendo stuff. They ended with the new 3DS announcement.
They did. Which,
given there was a leak a couple of days beforehand, a lot of people already saw it coming.
And it's already out in Australia.
And as far as I know.
Weird.
Good for them.
Yeah, good job.
It's still probably twice as expensive.
They finally got something, though. Japan, Australia have it already, and North America will be getting it later.
Yeah, it's true.
I don't like...
It's coming pretty quickly, though, so that's fine.
Yeah, it was so sudden. They now... this was the official announcement, and it comes out in February. Mm-hmm. Nintendo doesn't have their marketing correct. We need some hype.
They've been doing this a lot more lately, though. I've noticed that a lot of their announcements are very, very sudden. And I don't know if there's a reason for that. Or, I don't know. There's no planning for a lot of consumers now. It's very difficult for people to plan out ahead of time what their purchases are going to be if you don't know what your purchases are going to be.
Exactly.
If you don't know what's available, how do you know what to go for?
You Nintendo fans need to save away a Nintendo fund. Put it right next to your retirement fund.
Specifically that Majora's Mask new 3DS console was announced during the Direct at the end of it. They said it'll be available. They didn't say when. They gave no links as to where or who would sell it. They said the Monster Hunter 4 Ultimate Bundle will be GameStop only, so it'll be GameStop EB Games. Yeah. But the Majora's Mask one specifically just came up and was gone online immediately.
They announced it at Nintendo Direct, then it was sold out.
But there was no information about when it would come up.
Nope.
EB Games Canada's Twitter account has been the best about this. They've been the best about at least saying when it's on sale. Even if they don't give an announcement beforehand, they always say, go get it now because it's going to be gone.
Yeah.
Nowhere else has been doing that. I've kept track of GameStop. Maybe they're doing it there. But EB Games Canada's been great about this. They've done the same thing with the limited edition Majora's Mask game itself. They did the same thing with the Shulk Amiibo. They've been doing a great job at least keeping people up to date.
Yeah.
I'm glad that they have. It's just unfortunate that it sold out so quickly.
Very unfortunate.
But it does seem like they're leaving some up in store. It sounds like there's... So with the Majora's Mask bundle, they had certain store allocation. Each store got a certain unit number because they only made so many. For the console, they're not giving an allocation across the country. They're just selling it until they say to stop.
Yeah.
Which could be any time. So
we're going to have to wrap this up.
We're finishing this soon
yeah.
and going to see if we can grab one. Past that, I don't know. It makes very little sense personally to me that there's such little time between announcement, sale, off sale.
It does make little sense. But
at the same time, they're still getting their money.
They
so
are.
Clearly
it doesn't
working.
matter to them, right?
Yeah, it's clearly still working.
You get your money.
My understanding is they're going to change things up with the Amiibo waves, which...
I hope so.
I think that's why they didn't announce a set date for anything.
Yeah.
They're just figuring stuff out because they don't know how it's working yet. But I feel like there's going to be a big gap between 3 and 4 comparatively.
Probably.
So, because 1 was in November, 2 is in December, 3 is in, February, but January in Europe. So it's still like a month and a bit between, 5 to 6 weeks maybe. So to me, I think they're going to push a little further. Because they said sometime in spring for Wave 4. That, to me, makes it seem like it's going to be maybe April. Mm-hmm. I can't see it being March, because that seems too quick now.
Yeah.
But they also don't want to lose steam on that stuff.
No.
So...
what little steam they've gathered.
I mean, part of that, I think, is going to be based on when Mario Party 10 comes out.
That is the next big title.
Yeah. Which, I mean, when is that coming out again? That's going to be that's March 20th. Yep. Maybe it will be out by March.
Oh, it might.
Oh, you know what? It won't be. No. It'll be the
Super
Amiibos.
Mario Brothers Amiibos, yeah.
It'll be those on March 20th with the game, followed by probably maybe an April release for the next Smash line.
Yeah.
And then they'll probably have the rest of it by May or June.
Oh, a note about the Amiibos for Smash and Mario Party is that if you use your Amiibo in Mario Party, you have to delete your Smash save.
Yeah, that's important.
Very important to note.
So each one just uses that NFC chip.
Yeah.
But it only can contain enough data for the one game at a time. If you're leveling it up in one game, just make sure that you know what you're getting into moving it from one game to the other.
Exactly.
If you're uncertain about what getting rid of that information means, because even I'm not certain, I haven't used mine yet, so I don't know what it's going to mean to move it from game to game.
Yeah.
I know that they only store certain data, but I don't know if that means deleting their leveling.
I believe so.
No clue.
I believe it means deleting their leveling and any items they may have picked up that you
either
haven't
way,
retrieved.
If you're uncertain, don't do it. Research into it, see what other people have done, what they've experimented with, because there's always going to be a community that figures that out.
Absolutely. So let someone else make the mistake first.
Or, I mean, it's an intended mistake, just for purposes of giving it a shot.
Still let them make it
first. Let them do it.
Let them do it first.
I think that's about it for Nintendo.
That's it for
That's
Nintendo.
a lot of Nintendo still.
Yeah, but that's all the news there is, aside from...
So I gave some of the beta for Halo 5 a try. It's a beta. It's Halo. It's fun. I like the fact that you can jump at a ledge and climb onto the ledge.
They added parkour.
Very, very minimal. It's like if you hit this jagged edge and you hit it like right here, you can grab it. But it's very quick. It's not like you watch your hands do it for 5 seconds.
We can't call it Halo Fall.
It's not Halo Fall or Call of Halo.
Okay.
It's to me, it still feels like Halo. I know that there will be those that disagree, and I kind of understand why. But honestly, I still really like how it feels. I haven't actually tried some of the new modes yet. I'll be giving those a shot later on, maybe tonight or tomorrow. Definitely before the beta obviously goes off. But to me, it still feels like a Halo game. Although I am honestly concerned for the story. I don't know where they're going to go, because I did not like the story in 4.
No, 4 was...
It was so expected, but so pointless.
I was still sad when Cortana whooshed... disappeared.
But we don't know where she went.
Yeah.
We don't know if she's gone. There's no guarantee. Like, if 5 and 6 are still going to be about the Prometheans? What are they called?
Yeah, the Prometheans, what's his name? The Didact.
Yeah. So with the Didact, people are theorizing that he's still around. We didn't see him die.
Nope. We just threw him into space.
He fell into... I don't know what it was, whatever ball of energy that was, of his own creation.
Yeah.
Would he be destroyed by his own thing? Was it Data? We saw Cortana turn into Data and throw Chief in and out of it.
Yeah.
Maybe he did the same thing. Maybe they're both together.
Hopefully they don't do some cheap cop-out like that.
Honestly, I think that they would, because that would explain why Chief has gone out. He's gone, like, doing whatever he's doing.
Yeah.
Like, the whole point of the story that we know so far for 5 is that Agent Locke, this new character, is out searching for Chief, because Chief is off doing his own thing.
Yeah.
But we don't know why exactly he's doing his own thing. It's just...
Because he's having an emo moment.
He's pulling a Link.
He is pulling a Link.
He's looking for his Navi.
Oh. Why would anyone look for Navi?
Wait, so that means that Halo 5... Spoilers, Chief dies.
Dun dun dun.
And or is never seen again.
Pre-spoilers.
Well, as far as Zelda goes...
Game prediction.
As far as Zelda goes, they actually kind of confirmed that with the Hyrule Historia.
That's true.
I mean, not so much that Link was dead, but that the hero Shade from Twilight Princess was the previous hero of time.
Yeah.
And people are all like, oh my god, like, it's pretty crazy
Link's dead.
Another Link interacted with a Link.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Don't cross the timelines.
Don't create a what-if timeline. How about that?
Okay.
How about don't make a timeline that involves the hero being defeated, which, the way they present it, doesn't make sense.
Just give us a linear timeline.
Too late.
No, please.
Too late.
No.
It's gone.
Please.
There's a linear leading to a three-way split.
Is there any hope they can make a game that will just tie it all together nice
Nope.
and neat?
Dude, they're turning Pokemon into multi-universe theory. What do you think they're doing?
Yeah, I noticed. I just watched a video about that.
You saw that now?
Oh,
now you understand why I'm like, I can't even get into it because it's just too much stuff.
How Gen 4 and 2 are at the same time.
I'm not even trying. I'll look into it later, but I'm not even. I can't play them because it's.
I'll send you. I found a good one. There's a YouTuber I subscribe to. Her name is Takashi.
Great name.
I'll link to it.
Okay.
But I'll send you a link as well. She's really good. She's like the ultimate Pokemon fan.
Right.
And she did an episode on the Pokemon timeline that I think was really...
Did it include the Great War?
The Great War?
Of Lieutenant Surge and why there's no adults?
No, it didn't. It didn't talk about the genocide of all the 40-pluses, except for Lieutenant Surge, who's a monster. That man's like 8 feet tall. He's bigger than a Geodude.
Geodude's not that big.
Well, he's bigger than a Machamp.
I mean, Geodude's like
he's bigger than
this.
Machamp.
I don't know how big those are.
Machamp is like...
Dude, the last games
Andre the Giant?
I think I said this last time. I don't remember. The last Pokemon games I played were Gold and Silver.
Yeah.
I've played them for 15 years. I don't know.
Either way, I'll send you the link and a link to it in the
whatever little descriptions
dump
we have.
Thingy where we link stuff.
Yeah, but
because she's really good.
But yeah, so back to the Halo thing. I think it'll be fine. The game will play as people expect it to, with a couple of tweaks here and there. Maybe I'll talk about it more next time, just because once
we get a little more into it.
Yeah. Past that, the Unity DLC for Assassin's Creed finally came out.
Broken DLC for a broken game.
So it's not that broken, actually. Playing it now after another update or two.
We shouldn't have to settle for not that broken.
There's still certain people I can't kill. They won't die. We'll stab them over and over in a circle and they just won't fucking die.
God damn.
Honestly, though, it plays fine. Now, all of those issues that existed at the start seem and or feel mostly fixed. There's still a little bit of pop-in. It's still... I've experienced less frame rate drop, which... way better, honestly.
That's good.
I am playing on the Xbox One, though, so maybe it's worse for PC. I know that certain drivers and certain video cards for the PC make the game nearly unplayable, because certain textures, specifically dealing a lot with water, will flicker over and over and over. And it's like, I'm trying to give my players a seizure. That's all I'm doing.
Yeah. I can see why Ubisoft is trying to kill off the PC market, though. Or the PC players.
Because they don't know what they're doing.
Yeah.
Because Ubisoft can't get it right.
Because Ubisoft doesn't care about PC players.
Or they put
Jesus
DRM
Christ.
in.
That's like George Bush doesn't care about black people.
Oh.
Ubisoft doesn't care about PC players.
Don't get political.
Ubisoft doesn't care about the PC community.
Why did you just get, all Reagan?
I don't know.
That was weird.
Well, I think racist. And I immediately go to American conservatives.
Just don't get political.
Okay.
Just don't get political. I didn't even get political with Canadian politics.
Well, what Canadian politics?
They exist. Nobody likes Harper.
That's true, but there's no other choice.
There's a lot of choices. People just... It's the choice that everyone seems to go with. I don't know why.
There's no information.
But again, I don't go political because I don't know.
Not to mention we have the lowest voting turnout in any developed country.
True.
We have 20% vote. That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
That's... More people vote in, school elections in the States. For, school comptroller or whatever they're called.
Comptroller?
Yeah. Either way, Canadian politics is not a good scenario.
No, the Unity DLC, it's not bad. It's an entirely new area. People knew where it was going to be when the game started because there was a location where you could warp to it. It just wouldn't work because it wasn't opened up yet. But it's a brand new location. It's at 7.5 gigs or something.
Jeez.
Just in the one location. 3 new... So it's one district split into 3 plus an underground area. So it's essentially 2 locations worth of the original game. Which, it seems small. And it mostly is. But the story is a lot better put together. and the missions are way longer.
Oh, okay.
Like, I played the first mission for probably half an hour, just, like, messing around, doing my thing.
Yeah.
I never rush through those games. I like to look around and see what's brand new. I don't know how the story's going yet. I don't know what it's doing. The series is very known for kind of blending, I don't know, this weird reality and metaphysical potential. Nobody really knows, like, what certain characters are anymore, because they turned from this old, potentially dead being into they somehow made themselves available and livable. I don't know. It's weird. But now, that same person, those who have played the games will know what I mean. They know who the precursor races are. They know who came back to life, quote-unquote, in 3. And they know where she is as of Rogue and Unity. They know that this character is still out there in some form. The way that those forms have progressed are weird. But this particular DLC, just 2 missions in, and I've gone exploring in some of the underground, and suddenly I'm seeing ghosts.
Ghosts?
Like, fucking weird, floaty, oogie-boogie thing, just sitting there, pointing at a door, and I'm like, okay, so it's the DLC starts off talking about, like, this guy's afraid of the ghosts of the dead kings that live underneath the city. And I'm like everyone else around him is just like, you're just a crazy dude talking about ghosts, whatever. Like, in this world, there have not been ghosts. There have been whatever this precursor race is, but they're a race that we don't understand. So it makes sense that if there's something they've done, we won't quite understand how it works. This guy literally just said ghosts, and they look like fucking ghosts. They don't got faces, they're just, like, floating there, and they're...
Wait, so are they ghosts as in, like, a traditional Victorian ghost, where they're dressed in, like, all the garb,
okay, so I don't know
they cry
yet.
About their mistress drowning them?
I don't know yet.
Or is this, like, a wisp, where it's just a ball of light?
No, it's like an actual person. Like, but you can physically... their faces are hidden.
Under...
So, to me, it feels like it's not a ghost, it feels like it's more of that precursor race.
Yeah.
I don't know why. I don't know how. I don't know why this is going to be important for the story. I know that Unity's story by itself was garbage, and I swear to God, if they pull something like that again in the next game, Unity's story was bad. It made nothing was important.
Yeah.
Absolutely none of it made any level of importance on the whole franchise. Led to nothing. It kind of built off of the idea they introduced in 4 with the sages they introduced.
Okay.
Where their like consciousness can move between different generations. So once they're born as this new version of themselves, they retain some of that information and unlock it as they experience life.
Okay.
Which would have been cool, because the whole point of finding these people and sequencing their DNA, as opposed to just another assassin or whatever, is to access precursor DNA. Because they have some semblance of it that is precursor and not human. But with the way Unity ended, which I will not spoil because it is a rather new game, the individual you're searching for, because you're supposed to be finding this sage, let's just say it doesn't actually matter by the end of it.
Really?
It's not... It's hard to explain without spoiling it. And I won't spoil it here. Maybe I'll tell you later, because I know you're not really playing them and you don't care as much.
No, I really...
Not since 3.
Not since 3.
But... just for those who play it and have yet to finish it, just don't be surprised when the story doesn't end very climactically. The story of the game, like the people will, but the overall present day story does not matter as much. It just wasn't presented in a fun way.
Oh, well, that's depressing.
Yeah.
I remember when it was about assassins.
With Black Flag, actually, with the 4th one, I mean, it was kind of not about assassins. Like, you interacted with them, but it drew the character away from that assassin order. So it was interesting to see the story progress without being directly influenced by being in the order. He was taught by part of the order, just he wasn't in it.
So what you're saying is that Assassin's Creed is not about an assassin who's a part of a creed?
Yes.
God damn.
Legitimately. Well, that was what made it interesting, though, is 4 directly dealt with the ambiguity of what that creed means. Like, the creed to I forget all the rules.
Stabby stab?
Well, they explain the rules in the first game and kind of in the second. They sort of skip it a little in the third. Like, they always go over it to some extent, but it was so glossed over in 4 because the whole point was the ambiguity, that gray area between Assassin and Templar, which is what made it unique, is what made it, I don't know, fun, I suppose. At the same time, it made the Assassin story very bland. It was very much like you don't know what's going on, you can't choose one side or the other, which is what made the newest game, Rogue and Unity, which is what made Rogue so interesting.
Okay.
Because you start as an assassin, leave the Assassin Order because you don't believe with their goals, join the Templars, and you see like the downfall of the Brotherhood based on their actions that leads into 3.
It seems like Rogue has been the much better of the 2 games.
It's so much better.
But yet it's been the least advertised and has had the worst sales.
Mm-hmm. Rogue is such a better game. Like, there's less glitches, the story is more interesting, the characters are more interesting. I wouldn't say it's not quite as important for the Assassin story, it's just an explanation of how 3, like, in that era makes sense with Connor and Adewale, and why the stead, like that area, is all screwed up. The homestead, I believe it was. However, the modern day, present day stuff is much more interesting. Okay. It actually ends on a really, really fucked up note.
Don't they all?
Not quite.
No?
Like, the present day in the original did, because then you got to, like, walk around and use Eagle Vision to see all that blood on the walls.
That wasn't interesting. That was so lame. There's blood on the walls. What does it mean? Credits.
I thought it was interesting only because I didn't know who left that blood. At that point, we'd only, like, sort of heard about Subject 16, and you didn't know, like, what he did to do that to himself.
Yeah.
Maybe it was a little over the top of that much blood, but it was still interesting to see all of these connections to the rest of the world, and that this one dude knows everything, and you know so little.
It was just a matter of the reaction. It was so monotone and unsurprising. He's just like, there's blood on the walls. I wonder what it means.
To be fair, I think that was Christopher Nolan's. What was his name? What's the guy that does his name? Nolan North. Nolan North. Fuck.
Christopher Nolan North.
Christopher Nolan North.
Oh my god.
I think it's Nolan North that does Desmond Miles' voice.
I believe so, yeah.
In the first game, it wasn't as exciting because he wasn't like the big focus, really. But in the second, Revelations, Brotherhood, I know that's out of order, but whatever. And 3,
the second Revelations of the Brotherhood.
he was a much more central character because they focused at least a little bit more on the present day stuff. Even in 4, they still have information from Desmond, so he's still voicing, even though, not spoiling, the character may not be around in the same way you expect. So,
no spoilers in this.
I'm not spoiling nothing. I'm just saying it's a little different.
Rosebud is the sled.
Come on
Spoiler
now.
alert.
Come on now. Snape killed... No.
Snape! Fuck Dumbledore.
Oh, well, maybe.
Probably.
I don't know.
Dumbledore has closets of wizards.
Creepy.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Alright.
One more bit. I mentioned it earlier, that there's some kind of rareware and Microsoft news.
There's some very hard to find news.
No, we don't know. Shut up. We don't know exactly what they're planning, but we have heard rumors straight from Rare about upcoming projects for this year.
That'd be nice.
Microsoft themselves have said we want to see some old Rare projects come back. Like, we want to see Banjo and
Conker.
Whatever. They'll probably get to it. They'll bring them back. They've used them in promotion for Project Spark.
They have,
so maybe they'll bring him to his new game eventually.
Hopefully.
But Rare themselves seem to be dropping hints on the fact that we're going to get new stuff for a bunch of that this year.
Oh, good.
And if we get a new Banjo that is not nuts and bolts, that will be my year. Even past the Zelda Majora's Mask stuff, that will be my year. Until Zelda Wii U.
Yes.
Because I cannot wait to see what they do with that.
You're such a mascot guy.
I'm sorry,
you love
I can't.
Your mascots.
I mean, let's see. Zelda, like the whole franchise is just awesome. Any of those old Sony mascots, Crash, Spyro, Jack.
Gex?
Oh my god, yes.
Yeah,
Thank you.
I've been waiting 15 years for a new Gex game.
Not happening.
No, it's never gonna happen.
You know what? That fucking lizard was like the most snotty, sarcastic son of a bitch.
So cool.
I loved it.
Oh.
Actually, you know what? I'm planning on maybe putting together a little video at some point in the future on interesting voiced characters.
That'd be fun.
Like those kind of like weird mascots or memorable individuals you don't necessarily think of all the time. Some of them, sure, like
the unmemorable memorable.
Like spoilers, Duke Nukem will be on there because it's Duke Nukem.
John St. John.
Everybody knows who John St. John is simply because of Duke Nukem,
and that's all he's ever done.
He's done a few other things.
Yeah, not that I can name.
Exactly.
Not that anyone can name.
But that's like people know who he is. People know that character. They hear it and they're like, I know what that's from.
I think a lot of people know John St. John just because he has a really cool name.
That's true.
Because that is his actual name.
Yeah, and it's spelled, both Johns are the same, too.
Yeah.
Like, I always find that really interesting.
So that's pretty cool.
But I'm going to do that, I think, in the future. That'll be one of my first list videos.
The most unmemorable.
Because everybody, I'll call it whatever, but everybody loves it.
Don't call it whatever, but...
Everybody loves their opinions, all right?
That's true.
Plus, I think it's kind of cool to show off stuff that maybe others aren't aware of. I'm sure a lot of people know who Gex is, but...
barely anyone knows who Gex is. They might know of him, but
yeah.
Very few people would have probably played the game.
But I mean, like, the Gex voice, and John St. John is Duke Nukem, and whoever else I choose. I'm sure there'll be some more that
Conker.
I decide on. Okay.
I think Conker's at the point where people have forgotten about him.
I'm going to end on this note. I've never played Conker games.
Oh, God.
I've
really?
never played them.
I'll lend you my copy of Bad Fur Day.
Okay.
It's unbelievably awesome, especially, like...
I'll probably just mute it during the giant turd singing.
But he's the Great Mighty Pooh.
Great Mighty Pooh, I know. Fling his poo at you.
It's really
chocolate
fun.
Starfish and corn and all those.
Throw toilet paper in his mouth.
We're ending on a CADcast note. We're ending talking about poop.
Yeah.
That's fine, though. I love Cheapy and Wombat and Shipwreck.
They're a bunch of good guys.
I still love playing with Cheapy in Saints Row 3.
Yeah.
That was so fucking cool.
I can't believe he's actually in the game. Anyway, so let's end on that smelly note.
On that little...
that sour note. That poop. We're going to end on poop. So
shout out to the CADcast for poop. I was trying to come up with something, but I couldn't. Go.
We can't work with poop as much as them.
That's
or as
fine.
Well. Anyway, so this was episode 2 of 8-Bit Canucks.
And maybe next week we'll actually have more news that isn't Nintendo. Seriously, we're not a Nintendo anything. That's just the only news available.
It's true. There's really not that much. If there's no Nintendo next week, we might have to go into some obscure news.
Please, no more Sonichu.
Uh-oh. Well, I was thinking more like other stuff. Let's not get into that.
Opening on Sonichu was kind of like niche already.
Yeah, I know. We went really niche in the beginning.
Your idea. Your idea.
Anyway, so yeah, you can find our podcast at thevisiblecube.com or finally now on iTunes now that we're not being DDoS.
Is it actually going to be up?
It's going to be up within the week. We're still in the review process, but odds are we're going to be approved.
Please.
Or you can subscribe to the podcast on the website as well. We'll also be putting them on YouTube soon.
Yeah, that'll be good.
Definitely.
We should get that moving.
So pay attention because things are going to be coming up. I'm Rob.
I'm Axel.
Thanks for listening.
See you guys.
Bye. Bye.
Bye.